Well, hey, this is Rose RCG Creations. How are you doing? Bringing to you What's for Supper? That's my new series. We've got, look at these really nice, thick pork chops. These are from Butcher Box. So, I've already done a review. I'm almost positive I did a review already on Butcher Box. But anyway, there's 4 of those. We're going to have enough for dinner and 1 for leftover for lunch. And what I'm doing is, these are going to be bacon wrapped pork chops. We're going to bake them in the oven, 400 degrees. For this thickness, I would say a good 20-25 minutes. And of course, it starts at 15 minutes and goes up to there depending on your thickness. You want to check it. If you have a meat thermometer, check it at about 140, 145. That's when they're done. And we'll do that when we get to that phase. But we're going to put together the little mix. So what it is you use 1 cup of packed brown sugar and 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder. So we're going to mix this up. So I'm just going to do now, oh, my oven's ready, yay! So I just got to mix this up, put it together, and we're all set. And then I'll set my timer. And then double check it. And then our side dish today is going to be frozen corn. I'm trying to get all my frozen stuff that's been in my freezer for a little while. Because it's always good to rotate your items in your freezer. And we're fortunate enough that we have an extra full-size fridge in the garage. So whatever doesn't fit in here goes into the garage. Okay. So I already have baked my bacon. There's 1 tray of the bacon. Then move this out of the way. And I can move this out of the way. Wash that. And I just did 1 package of bacon. We just do the store-bought bacon. And then here's the other one that sat in the grease, because I only have 1 oven-proof rack. So I have to use the same one, but it's also kind of nice because it's going to do a double duty tonight. So I cook the bacon on it, and then I'm going to put the pork chops on top of that and still leave it in the same parchment paper so all the grease drippings can drip. And I'm trying to go low-cal, so trying to make sure that the bacon and the chops don't sit in the grease while it's baking. So I'm just going to put these in, whatever bacon is left over, I'm going to put it in wrap some paper towel around it, put it in a freezer bag, and stick it in my freezer for the next time we want to use bacon. It's going to be already cooked up. Okay, so first thing you want to do is, number 1, you want to make sure that it's not really crunchy. This is kind of a little too crunchy for this project, but that's okay, because I personally don't like to mix 2 kinds of food at one time. I'm a little weird, I know, but I'm just going to wrap. You're supposed to wrap it around, but because I overcooked it, because the time got out of my way, my timer went off, and I didn't get to it right away, and it was like, oh man. So I'm going to take my bacon off of here, taking it off this rack. And oh, there's a really flimsy one. There's another one. If you can find a flimsy one, that's working good, because that way it can wrap around. That one's crunchy. And I know these are over here. Yeah, these are all crunchy, because these were on the bottom rack. So I know they're a little too crunchy, but I'm just going to put, typically what you would do is you would wrap the bacon, the partially cooked bacon, around the pork chop. Okay? Then you're going to add your rub on it, but I'm going to do it since I don't have that, because I overbaked my bacon, and I'm going to leave it right on top. And then I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to put this face down. This part's going to be a little bit messy, but only because I don't have flexible bacon. But I want to show you both routes, because these ones are flexible. So these ones are not. I'm going to put a little bit of rub on here before I put my bacon on top, because with this brown sugar, and this is my homemade brown sugar. If you like, I put a link on there, or just put a comment and I'll show you the link to my homemade brown sugar. Then I'm going to lay my bacon on top. It needs one more, because I think I got 3 pieces of wrapped bacon. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more on top. That way the bacon gets a little bit more of this little good yumminess. With the brown sugar, this definitely is not really low cal, but it's a little bit better. Okay, let's do the flimsy one. Well, actually, no, let's do this one, because I'm going to get this on my rack. You know what, I think I may have enough room to do both of these. There might be, you see how flimsy it is? And that's what you want. So you're going to wrap it around. And you're going to wrap this around too. So there is your bacon. See that? So let me put this one right here. And let me put this piece of hard bacon right there. And then let's just put our extra rub right on top. So that one had the 2 layers. This one's only going to have the 1 layer. And we'll know because this has got the wrap plus the single. And we can do a taste test to see if there really is much of a difference, which I doubt there will be, but you never know. And this is my first time trying this recipe. Okay, now let's get this other flimsy piece of bacon. Whoop, and that broke, but that's okay. We'll just put this broken piece right here. This is messy. Messy, messy, messy. As y'all know, if you watch me a couple of times, I don't do messy very well. I'm messy, but I don't like to get messy. And I do spill and have accidents when I'm in the kitchen. So I have a lot of cleanup. But remember, this is all new to me. This is my first time really doing cooking from scratch. Okay. That'll work on that one. Now this one, we'll just put some of the broken, extra crunchy bacon. I'll get some more of this one over here. Just do a little bit of rub right there on that one. I'm not going to do too much because it's going to go upside down. Put that one right there. Let's move this one over here. Whoops, lost a piece of my bacon. Sprinkle some bacon on here. Well, I had a lot of leftovers. But then you're supposed to, this can work for either up to 6 pieces of pork chop, but not this thick. Break this chopped bacon over. Now let's put some of our goodies on top. What's nice about this, and if you notice, I'm picking out recipes that are quick and fast, because I want to hurry up and get out of the kitchen. Let me wash my hands. Well, I have you on here. My little brother works at HEB, and he showed me about this. This is called Urban Hydration Lemon Extract Hand Wash. This is really good. This has got a lemon flavor. I think there's 3 different flavors. But anyway, keep it right there because it's a little small bottle. But that's a good hand wash, and it smells good. Okay, so now they're going to go in the oven because the timer's already gone. So I'll move this over just a tad. I want to make sure they get baked evenly spaced. Oh, down dirty. Okay, now I'm going to put this in the oven. But there they all four go. And then after they're done, I'm going to broil them for like 2 to 4 minutes. So I put mine on my, wherever your broiler's at, and I know some ovens, the broiler's on the bottom, some of them is in the top. So it just depends on your oven of what rack to put it in. That way you don't have to worry about getting them out and put it back in. I got a bunch of leftovers, but because I touched it, and I touched the pork on it, that has to go thrown away in the garbage. I'm not saving it, because that's not good when you're doing, when you've touched any kind of meat, or something like that, that's not good to save. I should have just put some in a smaller container, but I didn't. I thought I was already going to use it all, but I guess it didn't. So that definitely makes enough for a double batch. So that's a tip for my recipe, and I'll put the description box, the recipe in the description box with the time and everything, and the temperatures. And I'll also do a pop-up, and I'll put that on as a tip of this probably will make enough for 2 batches. That way you can already pre-make it, and then put it in an airtight container in storage. Label it, save it for the next time you want to make it. It's already made. But it really didn't take no long to mix the chili powder and the brown sugar. So let me clean up my mess, do some dishes, and I'll bring you back when the timer's up. Then we'll do my favorite part, the taste test. Okay, we're back. It took about a good 23, 24 minutes. I checked with my meat thermometer. 140. Smells good. So let's take a taste test. Let me get it crunchy because I like the crunchy ones. Hubby doesn't like the crunchies. But you want it once you take it out of the oven, you want it let it rest for 5 minutes, and it's only been resting about 3 minutes. So let me let it rest a little bit more. Let me put this little piece of bacon that fell. And thank goodness you use parchment on the bottom of your cookie sheet, because there's the oil and the brown sugar, the drippings. It saves you a lot of time on cleanup mess. Let me grab me some corn. I didn't make a whole bunch of corn because it was just left over in the freezer bag, and it's enough for 1.5 people. But we'll let hubby eat it because he likes corn. So let me I'm gonna bring it right back. I'm gonna let this rest. I want it to rest exactly 5 minutes because I've never done this before, just to make sure that I've done everything correctly. I looked at Google, Pinterest, and YouTube, and this is the one that I found off of Google Internet. If I remember where I got it from, I'll put the link in Google where I found it from, so that way you can follow the recipe. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know who it is. I did this like 3 weeks ago. When I'm staying away from that, 'cause last time I burned myself. Because last time I thought they were pork chops, and it turned out to be steak. So because I failed to label the wrapper before I put them in the freezer. So I'm learning now. I'm labeling everything, because for three meals we had, I don't know, it was a surprise. But anyway, I'll bring you back. We probably only got 2 more minutes, and we'll bring you back. Okay, we are set. Bear with me 1 second while I turn my phone is charging, so I have it in the other part of the kitchen charging. Okay, so let's do it was a 5-minute rest time, and I definitely highly recommend you barely cook your bacon before you put it on there, because it's going to bake again. But I like my bacon crunchy, so I'm good to go. Now look how juicy that is. I'm going to bring it up to you. Look at that. Yum, 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 yum. Look at the juices already coming out. And I haven't even touched it yet. So let's cut into it. it's nice and cooked. Oop. Bring you to that. Isn't that nice? Very, very juicy. I don't do fat of any kind, so let me cut that off. I cannot handle fat on any meat. No meat whatsoever. Oop. I'm a little bit weird when it comes to eating, but I am what I am. That's just the way it is. Okay, so, oh man, this is just, it's so cut so smooth, just like butter. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Got pieces of bacon there. Let's do the taste test. Two thumbs up for sure. 2 thumbs up. It's very, very juicy. I can taste the brown sugar. I can definitely taste the bacon. Let me get another piece of, and because my bacon was hard instead of soft, I would do a corn, bacon, and pork chop. I'm straying away from that pan. That pan's hot. You can definitely taste the butter. I personally could have used a little bit more chili powder in here because there's no kick at all. But the brown sugar is not overly sweet. It's not. I think it's because that chili powder was mixed in there, and that cut down the sweetness. But you can definitely taste the brown sugar. I'll be honest with you, I don't taste any chili powder at all. So I would double up that recipe if you like a little bit of spice on the chili powder. So it called for 1.5 teaspoons. So I would do, see, 1.5, 1.5, 1, 2. Yep, I would do 3 teaspoons of chili powder. And then go from there and see what that's like. But I don't know about you, but I'm definitely making this again for sure. Well, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Take care now. Bye-bye.